magic rings here.
And the living will have this world again.
The problem is, my dumbass left the house without a dime.
For everything, since I can't hold a job, just because I can't sit still, I'm a dancer. Suit up, watch your back for the other cats. What she said to me is, drop your knee, roll your body right. That move is gold, that woman's sold, and she's gonna love you. Loosen up now, she's
I'm
mine.
on.
Step aside for a minute. I'll show you what to do. I'll dance all over you. It's true. I'm fine all the time, down to hit it. One move and it's over. Well,
Another one. Another one.
I'm not so sure this is a prudent course of action at all. Oh, it's prudent, all right. I paid homage to the jerk. Huh? I'm not a bum. I'm a poker player. And sometimes, rarely, but sometimes, I got lucky in hands.
ain't no doubt about it. Somebody else is gonna love her too. Oh yeah, you better come on now and hear what I say. You don't have to worry. She's gonna give it away. She's gonna give it away. Let me tell you what she'll do. When she goes out at night, I don't worry about what she's gonna do. Oh, no, 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 no. When she goes out at night, I don't worry about what she's gonna do. Oh, yeah, no, no. I finally caught up with...
In August, I did an interview for the Aceholes podcast.
Come in. We're ready for you. We've been waiting.
Oh, yes, I did. Listen, I came on this morning.
Yeah, look at me preparing the camera.
That was a Jody.
Beep, boop, bop, bop, boop, beep, boop.
Bought a house.
Hey, I finally caught up with Joe this morning. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, listen, I finally caught up with old Joe this morning. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, listen, fella, I bust his nose and I crushed his rib.
Ron Jeremy?
That is definitely not the nuts.
And for the first time in probably 10 years, got a table change to move away from a bad player. Really interesting hand, this next one. It starts normally enough. I open pocket sevens under the gun to $30, and that's kind of where the normalcy ends. Action folds around to the small blind, and he decides to 3-bet. Typically, 3-bets from the blinds are much larger due to the disadvantage that position will have on all the upcoming streets. However, this player, admittedly new to 510, raises much smaller. He makes it $70. This would be a small 3-bet even if he was in position. With his 3-bet being so tiny, the big blind comes along and I come along as well. Queen 7-6 with 2 diamonds. Nice. I flopped a set. The small blind checks and the big blind does too. I now take the lead with a $90 bet. The small blind continues with a call, and the big blind folds. My first thought is that he has some sort of flush draw that missed connecting on the flop, but was a hand that he deemed strong enough to raise pre-flop. A hand like King-Queen suited is instantly ruled out because the Queen of Diamonds is on the flop. Ace-X of Diamonds is possible and fits this criteria, and obviously he can still have one of the other 12 variations of Ace-Queen. The turn 3 of clubs versus this player should be a miss. He doesn't seem like the type that is 3-betting a hand like 4-5 suited pre-flop from the small blind. He checks again. I turn it up a bit here with my sizing. $300. And he tanks for a while and calls again. What's this mean? I would think his aces and kings wouldn't check the flop. New players typically look at bet sizes in a vacuum. They aren't calculating what percentage of the pot it is. Thus, $300 seems large, and he's still calling? Would he do that with just a diamond draw here? That's thin. Jacks, tens, those would fold. Maybe ace-queen that he didn't lead flop with for some reason. I don't know, but his turn call is a bit concerning. Could he just have queens for top set? The river brings a king of hearts and he checks once more. At this point, I get value from ace-queen, his black king-queen suiteds, and ace-king of diamonds. And that's about it. And now I lose to pocket kings, which seems unlikely, and pocket queens, which makes a little bit more sense. I quickly check the river back and lose to pocket queens. Honestly, I should have lost a lot more on this one. I got lucky.
Doubt it. I mean, it's definitely a viable, like, if you care about like those analytics.
Sometimes I get asked my thoughts on people buying subs and views on social media platforms. I gave my honest response in this vlog. I know people that do, and I don't care.
Yeah. It's definitely a viable strategy, is that you buy a portion of your subscriber base, which then gives you like social proof.
Yeah, I'm just naive to think that it's all legit and you know, organic.
I think some people like look down on it, and then like there's people like me that I couldn't even tell you how many subscribers I have. I'd never look at any of the metrics at all.
I'm just
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I just
100%.
give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm naive on that,
but no, a lot of people really get off on like those, like what they're called like vanity metrics, like how many subs and views and likes. She asked me this question last night. All right. Let's say, hypothetically, you find yourself in an airplane. The airplane's in the air, autopilot's on, it's cruising at whatever cruising altitude is, right? But you have to land the plane. Can you land the plane?
Yes.
I also really don't care what professionally trained pilots with years of experience have said. I can land the damn plane. No problem. You don't know my life.
See, that's what I said. I said yes.
This isn't even close.
Yeah.
The small blind probably shouldn't be calling a lot of button raises, so the majority of his playable hands will be 3 bets. And as a response, ace-queen suited is almost the top of my calling range versus the small blind. I sound smart, don't I? Admit it. The low jack opens to $30 to begin this one, and I 3-bet misclick. I mean to make it $90, but I make it $70, which is too small. Glaringly too small. The button calls and the low jack shoots me a very warranted confusing glance and comes along as well. As far as flops go, queen 8-4 with a heart isn't bad. When the low jack checks it over to me, I could stab at this one, but elect to check, as does the button. The ace of hearts turn, though, is just too good. When the low jack checks again, I have to fire.
Oh, why that card? That on the flop.
You're ahead on the turn, then.
Oh no! Oh no! Lion-hearted.
Like, you don't have to be his fan, but how do you not know who George Michael is? And so like I played some songs like Careless Whisper and Faith, you know, like his big hits or whatever, and she's like, I think I heard the first one. I go,
in September, I changed a few things. I leaned into creating even more of a comic book feel by using more vertical footage and overlaying external images, even going so far as to create an entire vlog using Breaking Bad themes.
It's so good in the hood today, so I don't care what you people say. If you believe it, say it loud.
It was too much from a visual standpoint, and was pretty difficult to edit. Probably won't be doing that again for a while. Bracelet event. In the fall, I began using the new home as home base, was shocked at the entertainment level provided by the Las Vegas Aces, and began a vlog from their arena. I also began 2 vlogs back to back in which I won Big Pot's first-hand scene.
Like people do, I'm learning
Once or
how
twice.
to eat the fruit.
Once.
Is in season. Never thought I'd be a grown-ass man. You know what they say, the best laid plans. Now I'm holding on to my daughter's hand. I've got a reason to be alive. Oh yeah, baby, I'm thriving. Yeah, yeah.
So, second session in a row, first hand, I win a Big Pot. But this time, your man that had the queens is literally sitting at the other end of the table staring at me. Why? For a minute and 20 seconds, he sits there and it's like this awkward silence and he's just staring at me. Mad. I asked you if you wanted to run it twice. You said no. You lost. Get off the table. Bye.
I'm living my best life. I wake up with the sunrise.
Easily the most talkative person I've ever encountered at the Bellagio sits to my right. Then I met a Tigerian. Dude was non-stop. He told everyone he was training to be an MMA fighter.
I'm going to be a 40-year-old virgin and MMA fighter.
He challenged the table to Game of Thrones trivia for money or push-ups.
Game of Thrones, guys. I'll give you money or push-ups.
Oh, and he also claimed to be a Targaryen.
That's it. That's all we got.
And this is Rachel. This is my favorite floor.
In October, I just decided to change the vlog opening. One minute later, he finds the $600 call. Turns over Ace King offsuit as well, and this hand ends in a very anticlimactic way.
That didn't end the way I wanted it to end, you know? I wanted it to end a different way.
I think there was a very good chance of it ending a very different way.
I'm being honest. I wanted it to end like, you know, like, yeah, I wanted him to be in pain. I'm not even going to lie. He seems like a nice kid. I wanted to put pain on him, you know?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Limit player joiner game.
The famous mid-section update.
This is it. We're doing it up. We're doing it in style now.
After the main 1020 game had found residence at the Encore, I moved to doing the mid-session update in the now mostly empty upstairs section of the Bellagio poker room.
Up here, because they're not using this.
Just because nobody's here.
Because nobody's using this area.
Classes are filling up. Join now. At one point, I put my real phone number into the vlog to see if anyone would call it. Some did. Note, my number has changed since then.
Take this back here.
Nice answer. That's how you do them, you know? That's exactly what you do to them. That's how you do it. Pull it in slower, savor it. It's like pulling it in so fast. You got to pull it in slow. Make sure he sees you pulling it in too.
It's them showing Ace King.
Yeah, yeah. So you pulled it directly to you. You got to pull it around this way. Get some of that.
Thank you very much.
So you can smell it going by.
I still think I caught a good enough whiff of it coming that way.
And then he raises to $740. Excuse me? What?
Yeah, you seen that. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Jason, my boyfriend said he knows you told me to say hi.
Who's your boyfriend?
Dylan?
Oh, Dylan. Tall Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, don't make me look bad in the vlog.
Now I got to make you look. You shouldn't have told me about Dylan. Now it's a lot.
This hand isn't that complicated or long, so I'll just go ahead and do this one. In late October, I put Old English Jamin on the bench for a few vlogs, and he wasn't happy about it. Verily, such a sight appears most unjust.
Sure. We don't like deeper voices, so you must have a lot of volume.
Oh, I have all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, that's why he only left me a few.
Yeah. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
The big blind tosses his hand into the muck, and the straddler tanks for 10 seconds.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
And back raise rips all in for a bit more than $2,000.
Give me Randy Moss over Rice.
Who?
Randy Moss.
Oh, Rice?
Yes.
What? Floor, tonight you got a comment card? How was my driving type situation?
Also in October, after holding back my feelings for over a decade, I finally decide to let the world know how I feel about Ace King offsuit. Fake it till you make it blocks them from having a good hand, but also blocks me from pairing anything, making me feel like I have to play regardless of circumstances, turn my hand face up when I don't connect, mortgage payment draining, straight not flopping, unpaired piece of shit. Ace King offsuit.
Students will just kind of dump all of their weight.
Oh, that's right. I changed the vlog opening again in November. I have returned. An Old English Jamin came back. And within my grasp I bear a parchment, a writ of legality, bestowing upon me the privilege to perform a voiceover for this hand. November didn't lack for exciting hands. There were a bunch of them in the 5 vlogs I released that month. Definitely warrants an open. Chin calls from the low jack, and our older friend on the button decides to 3-bet to $160. Let me pause here and say that less than a minute before this hand began, the button said he didn't want to pay time as he was leaving after his button. He was card dead and was just going to go home. Now he's 3-betting 2 players to $160. It's seriously doubtful he's picking this spot to begin some elaborate 3-street bluff. He has it. Either way, I have a damn strong hand myself. I call the $160, as does the low jack. Ace, jack, deuce with 2 hearts. Can I run any better today? I check. The low jack checks, and the button continues for $250. I could check raise, obviously, but after the speech and the pre-flop plus flop aggression, I kind of just wanted him to barrel it off. I call. Chin in the low jack folds. Heads up, and the 7 of spades appears on the turn. That 7 shouldn't change a damn thing, and I check again, expecting the button to continue his aggression as I obviously appear to be on some sort of draw. He surprisingly doesn't, though. He checks it back. The river is probably one of the worst cards in the deck. Not the worst, but close. It's the king of clubs. Had he raised preflop and then just blindly fired flop with pocket kings, as some do, I'm dead. Had he raised preflop with ace king, slowed down on the turn when he caught resistance on the flop when I called, then he just caught his second pair. Not a great spot. My only hope is that he has ace queen or maybe thinks I missed a draw. I lead out small, $200. He wastes no time in calling my small bet. My cards hit their backs and he tosses his holdings into the muck.
You have a poker course out yet, Jamin? Where can I buy your poker course?
You can't.
It never comes. It's just like ace, jack, brick,
Yeah.
and then you get like a bad river, and like you stole it.
A horrible river. Like the worst river in the deck.
So you still win. You found it one hand.
Yeah, the river almost went check fold.
are exciting times for Nikki Limo and Lily Newhouse. Good luck, women, as you...
Wait, that's your Lily.
She's not mine. I don't own her.
Ah, now I see why you showed up to work today. You just wanted to big up your girlfriend. Very unprofessional.
I raised to $170. He tanks for a bit and re-raises me to $700. Cowboy Jamin is back.
Man, I didn't realize that short again.
Yeah, it happens real quick.
If I had $1 for every time a woman told me that.
So I'm in a pretty aggressive mood when the poker gods bless me with the best hand known to those that know. 3-5 suited. I open at $25 and get a single caller, the big blind. I catch the dream flop in King of Hearts, 4 of Spades, 4 of Hearts. This board blocks pocket kings and quad fours, and we have a backdoor steel wheel draw. It can't get much better than this. I'll tell you what, we gonna go ahead and just call it a night today. I done spent all day playing with these city slickin' tournament players that I darn near forgot how to play cash when I got here to the dang on Bellagio. My good friend Vanessa Cade made back-to-back vlog appearances this year. She hadn't been seen in the vlog since we went to a Bieber concert together last year.
This guy got lucky. He should have been eliminated the first round. Ouch. He did so bad on the throwing card.
OWT. Ouch. Look, it's not like I hate Ace-King offsuit. Okay, maybe I do. This piece of shit has fooled the entire population into thinking it's Michael or Sonny, when really, let's be honest, it's Fredo. At best. Here, I open from the low jack with Ace-King offsuit to $20 in the hijack calls. I get into another monster hand with Ace-King offsuit, although admittedly, I played this hand pretty poorly. 4-bet or call? I could go either way. I settle on call and the hijack comes along. 3 players. 10 of clubs, 5 of clubs, 3 of hearts. I check, hijack checks, and the cutoff does as well. The turn king turns my overrated prospecting hand into a real one. With the betting lead up for grabs, I toss $100 into the middle. The hijack folds quickly, but the cutoff has other ideas and raises $450. Well, that's a good-sized raise. Did he check back aces? Do we have the same hand? He's not 3-betting pre with 5s or 3s. Does he have 10s? Top pair, top kicker, and we're going nowhere just yet. I call the 450. The river, another king, and the flush is missed. I check, and he goes into the tank. And then shoves all in for $13.20. Would he do that with aces? I settle on call. 2, he shows me pocket 10s for a full house. And 3, I lose the biggest pot of this session. As the year comes to a close, Kasey returns.
Got a smile on my face that I just can't erase. Everybody knows wherever I go, I'm a happy soul. All day long I'm smiling, I'm happy all the time.
This, like many other nights, have come to an end. It is time to get out of here. It's time to go.
Oh, look, 3-5. Oh, no. It has to be 3-5 suited, like me. And I come along from the button with ace-9 suited. 4 ways we are. I hit a bump in the road playing 10-20.
Sammy, you're running fucking pure. Sammy, that was slimy, Sammy. That was fucking slimy, dude. I mean, thank you.
That's nasty. Nice hand.
And see some really, really strange lines taken in a 5-10 game.
What the f*** is this piece of shit?
Hey, dude, needed something. That's one of the queens.
The player.
I didn't want to.
530.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get drawn out on.
What?
I was drawing.
I had an underset.
What?
I'm like, nah.
I was drawing almost stone cold dead.
Yeah.
It's time to get up and begin heading downstairs for the WPT Premier Meetup game. Let's go.
You want me to be on your vlog after you wrote that shit on Instagram?
My eyes when I'm yawning. What a wonderful life when you do what you do.
The year ends on a great note with a really fun meetup game at the Encore.
You gotta have gratitude.
I mean, I actually think Jeremy wrote this out.
If you tell me where you got that, I will rock it, and then we can do a who wore it better. Everything, Andrew. We lost it all.
It was quite the packed 365 days. Thanks for being on this journey with me. Happy holidays. And let's keep it going in 2024.
Just a dead man.